2022. And no egg number one can you made rice. I don't see you egg. But your original intake, your papa, your family, no enfemo. And no channel face a wood TV. Mark one side and can be teach you say we a restaurant to break that. And now we will be away at the tower. A bread set one so for ending command of pain. Now one more ebejo so Ashabuapa. What about that Roma? I don't pay one more to cry. Now, Eclipse Collateral Management for that romantic. But you're a businessman, businesswoman. I don't pay loan be a pay from a commercial bank, a savings and loans company. And a baby, I wouldn't say, we'll be a loan here. I hear the kind of one movie beside a collateral. I would the average loan. I don't pay Eclipse to some cultures. Loan need you at your day at the amount. It's answer. Only collateral, I would protect the association. And until I call your corner brasa. Bra, but one more romantic, one more bedroom wow. With collateral and the value is so now Idrisika woke up a pedia free bank. I don't pay one more year. Said you be to me up so business when you see the ship. Now a Jumano any at the according. And what you know, Eclipse and Juma, one more year no a business. One more job property documents, not one more year Jumana fee, one more to a commission there were home. Pay with your property owner, say your landed property. Movable ones, so as I say, a dime if ye. And I feel moving once on the chatter. I don't pay the wood here, me a car, moto, a dear. I don't bet to me the home crack, something in a now Eclipse for the year Juma. Now if you want to chance, I walk. One more Juma, one more year. Now, one more I'm saying, you should have for P. I don't try to pay a year deal from way. But of a number, so now only Eclipse for any income more and more. 0266 999020 0266 999020 and after 0302 55 1877 0302 55 1877. Now when the Eclipse Collateral Management 14 command pay think safety and a decent income. May I say, it is only 48 minutes after 7, and this is Kessben 92.9. So, what join here live feed? No, I will share live. A Kessben TV, so DSTV, a channel 364, Go TV, a channel 121. Now, I feel Oko a year Facebook, a Kessben TV, and I feel Kessben FM 92.9 as well. 2 handles, Ninginano. Streaming ewo yen Facebook no eso enti for our messages no wadwen training na no embra ya beje na ya kenkan ni nyina no e dia ma embra ya bo amane se ade se appointment committee in Ghana's parliament wo mo adwuma se wo mo edi no wo mo afrase a wo mo edi na ebi ne se wo mo ebe hwehwemu mapa na fe asofo ahodo mampanyin John Dramani Mahama ebo modini nyina no wo mo tumi atoto wo mo ano ahwe se wo mo se ne facha se wo mo ebetimi ekura dibire a etisa no emu ada now ye ka say no nipa miensa wo mo din edi kan eba ye dendra vetin nyina no abade wie na ehun komodie no ye de bro surely na afie watimi ehun de e course so promises ahodo a free minister si ho aba Ningina no yene eba bede ho enkomo de di kan finance minister designate Rock Kesselato Forsen ana Endra wodi kan appear before the appointment committee 11 waka ho asem se ebeko in the first budget of a year 2025 and the first budget of the president His Excellency John Dramani Mahama enti we're coming to that shortly na afi yedi nkomo ewo ho and which you know issues of a year electricity, power, energy related matters. A war mining no John Abdullahi Jinapo, the Honorable Minister Designate, and Edim Komoni P. Kwaya Womobefa Swa, Enyinama Huade Hunsem, any energy Hunsem, no Womo Ebeshi Sheni ye. The Kaya Wakaya, and also a Trinkofo Brinano, Adrian Eddie Aquacosi no yes, ECG. Kwaya womo faswa womo yo mo adwuma no baby omo adru say no privatization say ye de bema ankran companies na womo timi manage agigi enyinam kane abo no yie no ni nyina no is on the table they may want to consider privatizing the Electricity Company of Ghana. And it brings back memories. Gone are the days, PDS. There were attempts to privatize ECG. Now, and Komodie we know, Asanso Abebiem. We will go details into it. Now, Afeyahe, so what is the way forward? Should it be an amalgamation of Ghanaian companies? One more the capacity to ensure, say, one more ebe manage the power distribution sector no effectively. Na one more say and they know and can ye distribute to edema companies, households, government institutions near the ending and who seek say buy ho any company no no womansa etime akana. Now the technical losses and challenges are a can be ma ECG ehwe sika bebre na no e kwan be na wo mo befa so a wo besia no kwan ni nyina no a part of the detailed conversation and opay ye ne expert na say nim before no ebedi ho nkomo na ya hwe say oman no ba bia ya ba bedro no e ho hia say ye de eye enyinam kane ya ho nsem ne titru adwuma ECG eye no ye de be hye ankrankronsa ana na ekoba ne sa enkane abo wo man mu no say ana besi akọ we private company, private business ono ne de ne say obehwe so benya ne mfaso enti no subsidies ne ade ne de it wouldn't come in. The use of prepaid meters and then when keka ho nyina no will come up for that detailed conversation na anopay yetime ene wo abosa enkomo. Now the Attorney General designate Minister for Justice and Ora Hunsensem EPMO Hewo Veteran no eso as to the legality of the Ora our Mampanyi Mahama Atino and also Ayasem Fofro. But with all said and done, the Attorney General designate Ora Dominica Yene said, it is not a legal an illegal entity. Say Yebeka say enamra kwan so no wote yenti no enye ku aye papa wo mo adwuma wo mo ba be ni tiamra ne ade and was it is neither here nor there. So far as say enye constitutional body no does not mean say a legal entity wo mo ede ba beta tankrofo enti a lot more are just in a snapshot and yabobo so ede ama the economy in general kwan ya Minister for Finance obefa so we yi eye e-levy no any betting tax no every hwa wo mo befa so generate sika de aboa ma amamuo na John Mahama His Excellency able no akoyi na wo mo ni so ade huno ni nyina no etimi abamu no. We'll tell you more details about it na yene economist no any financial expert no etimi edi nkomo a etise. But first of my yenko na yentie except of a year and Vetina a course so the kind a finance minister designate. Yentie nemra.
Demonstrating your readiness and preparedness
Kessben
to confront the problems of Ghana with greater expertise and finesse than we have seen in the past. So I have a few questions focusing on what my brother and former majority leader and now minority leader raised in his thesis that he read before we started. Oh, it's very beautiful. Thesis of an odd member. Because even before asking, you have made a case demonstrating your readiness and preparedness to confront the problems of Ghana with greater expertise and finesse than we have seen in the past. So I have a few questions focusing on what my brother and former majority leader and now minority leader raised in his thesis that he read before we started. Oh, it's very beautiful. Thesis of an odd member continues. Proceed. Number one, will you abolish the e-levy?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, my position on the e-levy is well known. I do not intend to run from it. I've written articles against the e-levy. I championed opposition against the e-levy. I still stand by them. The Chairman, the e-levy is neither a direct tax, indirect tax, or an excise tax. I don't know how to classify the e-levy as a tax practitioner. Mr. Chairman, it doesn't mean that I do not recognize that the e-levy brings in certain revenue. But the fact remains that the e-levy retards our progress towards a cash-light economy and the fintech. We need to abolish the e-levy. I have said, and I'm on record to have said, that given the opportunity we abolish the e-levy. I want to restate that position, that if approved as part of the first budget, I'll be privileged and I will announce that we will abolish the e-levy as part of our first budget, recognizing my earlier stance and the commitment that His Excellency the President Mahama said that as part of our 120 days agenda, we will abolish the e-levy. We stand by that, and I can assure you the e-levy will go within the 120 days calendar that we've announced. Thank you.
The second question, Honorable Nominee, is Ghana, like many other countries, depends on taxation as one of the major sources of revenue to fund development. As a matter of fact, one of the conditions of the IMF, the current arrangement with the IMF, is to enhance local revenue mobilization. The NDC party promised Ghanaians to scrap a number of taxes. So how do you intend, if you're given the nod as the Minister of Finance, to bridge the revenue gap?
The floor is yours. Mr. Chairman, thank you. Mr. Chairman, let me say this is an excellent question. Mr. Chairman, Ghana currently collects approximately 13.8% of GDP in terms of tax revenue, according to the latest data I've cited as part of the transition. It is obvious that we can do better. I've studied the Ghana economy for some time, and I can say without mincing a word that Ghana has huge potential when it comes to tax revenue mobilization. You don't necessarily have to increase taxes before you rake in revenue. We have the handles. What we need to do is to improve compliance. I will work with the JRA and the tax policy unit of the Ministry of Finance to ensure that we increase compliance and to raise the revenue as much as we can. In the medium term, it is my vision, when approved, to increase the revenue from 13.8, tax revenue from 13.8% of GDP to about 16 to 18%. That will be able to compare ourselves to our peers. I believe the potentials are out there. It doesn't necessarily mean we should increase taxes. Yes, we have obviously announced that we're going to scrap certain taxes. We'll stick to just that. But it doesn't also mean that we don't care about the revenue. We care about the revenue. And we'll have to do more revenue.
Except of a year and draw a veteran a course so a war before the appointments committee in Ghana's parliament. I mean, highlighting the issues about taxation and kwaya you bet me I say you be mobilizing enough revenue na etimi abua for the nation's development. Mamin call lines so na many a year Prince Obri Yaboa in the enkomo or no a economist and a financial consultant na Endra Utie a year the finance minister designated a lot of a year concerns and always here about the e-levy and then the betting tax. Mr. Obri Yaboa Atimika, good morning and Pom to saying
Kessben.
Mr. Speaker, good morning.
Very well. I'm grateful, Sanope. What joining you via Zoom na you bet me anywhere and come Minim Sandra, what's your finance minister designator? The vetting our call here before the appointments committee. Questions are you put here a man or to solicit for the responses are a bag, you know, enyina. They can your initial impressions about the performance generally, moving from a deputy finance minister to a substantive minister. There's a huge job ahead of him. Mamintio on his performance generally. Na afe yemra the substantive ones.
Kessben.
My general impression was that it was okay, but he was more economical with this. Some of the statements. Some of the questions are not responding.
Kindly position yourself a bit for me. All lines not a breaker. Okay, forgive us. If I we'll bring him back again. Network, MIHS, but we'll get him back onto the line. Now, get him and I have this conversation. Very, very much important. And the posture, the answers by any kwanya or fast so it deliver any answers. Does it inspire some level of hope to the investors? One more say they will come back to invest in the Ghanaian economy, and as well while we are Ghanaian, promises and only responses I buy. Are you satisfied so far? And does it give you hope? Sir, Finance Minister Orato forcing any Ora John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency Eba Beye Juma, to bring down the burden and then the hardship a war of mine in 2 minutes after 8. Your numbers near 0550-567-929 0550-567-929 0550-567-929 and no air numbers are no pay ye day Juma WhatsApp and a fee SMS or the messages any wadrin training in no eddy bar ya beji na yakin kind eddy amount. But in a quick one, we'll bring back again Mr. Obriyabua, a consultant in the financial sector and a economist as well, two combined. Not yet no eddy in combono not ya say I mean solutions to forcing a prophecy nina no and no anda. But before we get back to him, mamin kind krata we ya abba Edward Nanaya Kurantin, Chief Executive Officer, Minerals Income and Investment Fund, Accra, DR Kurantin, revocation of appointment as Chief Executive of the Minerals Income and Investment Fund. I write to formally inform you that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has revoked your appointment as the Chief Executive Officer of the Minerals Income and Investment Fund, effective immediately. You are directed to hand over your duties to the President's representative at the Ministry of Finance. The Honorable Dr. Ato Forsen will oversee the operations of the fund until a substantive Chief Executive Officer is appointed. The President extends his gratitude to your service, for your service to the nation. And this is signed by Dr. Callistus Mahama, Executive Secretary to the President. And the Minerals Income and Investment Fund, MIF, Chief Executive, Anna Ene, Krajay, HSA, Omampenya Sakeno, where you need, say, one fan of Jumano, and Fanto. Mamin call back, not your name is to Bria Boa, and to me, and in Comway. Mr. Bri, watch out what him in Cassie say. Watch out what him in Cassie say.
Rami Pasha, very clear.
Very well. I'm grateful.
Very well. I'm grateful for sensitivity. I want to make initially,
on the general impression Finance Minister designate. The responses, the posture, and the choir of us who a yin semnano. Now, I feel the details of it.
Right. My man Sancha was chief for Nyahefubium. They're not fair. So, the demeanor now of the Tewa was very okay. He looked calm. He looks like somebody who knew the person or Babaye. He was not intimidated, especially a man no near at all. A man of time, no. He took his time. He never looked provoked, even when some of the questions seems like a bit aggressive, no. But he was very calm as usual. And Mecca said he was a bit economical with some of his responses. Apparently. Now I'm person about committee who be bring issues in the and on the whole, no, I think say he did quite well. I can only wish him well.
You can only wish him well, but yamra the substantives and the kind taxation issues of taxing the Ghanaian people, acquire yabefasua and no ebe assisted revenue mobilization for a buying budget obey for 2025. Now The minister designate promises, just as President Mahama has said, no, first budget air bay, NAM coin so air bay, e-levy will be abolished, betting tax and so ebeko. Now the question was put to him, say a bani say who use our taxes in no edi free honoma. A coin ben abefa so enyesika edi aye de opese wo de ye ewo abaemu. Or say rather tax compliance and ehu hia say SSA and Nigeria it may facilitate you omoniema na it may boa and not necessarily overburden the people with taxes. Mamintio on that, is that the preferred solution a betimi ateki us of the mess you won't say?
Complaining about inadequate revenues in terms of tax collection. Na ubia ba na sama waka na say we must expand the tax network. We must expand the tax network. But su kwaya be faso a ibe increase and na say be expand your tax network. Ene de ubia ntimi mfanya adan MI. Nti so akohwe a akaye nipa kakra bi na ye formal setup no eno na yetua eto dodo na nti ye sika ne de wo de ntimi mfa bi mfa baby a de ubenya bia no akoye se utua tori eden ewo so nti menene ya adwene but he telling us that oba be expand no is something we have heard it over and over idea ya tin wo mpe bebre obi bia wa bedi o mayakonya bia akasa asem no but the critical question we mu bia ntimi nya no mayen how a plan we mu fast why they I expanded the tax bracket no enti menene ya ade but mpempi no say abaiba so fufu say we enjoy certain level of goodwill ema ewo oman mu say a decision about tax revenue and tax generation, he must take it now. And all take you know, MPP, all the opposition parties must help him. Because anytime we will be taking critical decision, the other parties take political advantage of it. At the end of the papa but they criticize you. Now, but we end up so big guy and Yamana or never born man. But yeah.
Kessben. Hello. Jabri Otubenka.
Question we said. You will not be able to come
this is
almost and as almost fee about almost fear. A 12 once the quiet and fear no almost no. Obakono near Peja fearless honum. If you need Peja see one no, a lebra for the year Juma home. Meanwhile, if you an end to your 12 okra. A mass to set Sebina Yabana what Peja diasi hokrana. Ghana Revenue Authority should be able to ask you tax bodo a and the diner or Peja one. And finally make it to be a when we begin to do things abnormal way, normal way in the subsidy. So we must begin to do things abnormal way. And the baby now ufi what's your way? A liberal 4 year juma withholding taxes and UTI and near building materials now kotoyen withholding taxes and then UTI. Yeah, the same who say everybody will be compelled to pay the tax. Last week, we didn't come and the suggestion for buy. Ona, Jina Abonti, Bodua, Doduanama, Eco-free SHS, Yenina, health insurance and so. A dear near Amana sustainable. Abani should cap so many things to those social interventions, you know. If you are not paying taxes, your work cannot benefit from a kind of saying free SHS.
Yes, but that
because
remember.
In America say all the political parties, both MPP and NDC, must be on the round table. Yes. Because you may judge it there for the akrokone na there any a kasa de any Ghana for the kasa, including your mama no more or more free maternal health care. Still, omu a mano yama ya at that time. as I enjoy free SHS. Say free SHS bu oman because it say the cost involved the run this program no enya dia eda form. Meanwhile, sankrofo nyina no omu maame ni omu papa mu omu ni bi kura no omu ye kwadwuma nketenkete omu ye bodwa adwuma. Masam ne say there should be a free will bia obi mobile money say we pay as you earn a PAYE ye adwuma for tetewa mobile money bosume so a say even 5 should be kwana abani should be able to come out with the mechanism bia at least Ghana ni bia to within bosume no ontia to bosume bia 5 Ghana cedi those in the informal sector and their mobile money account their MTN account with their Ghana card account and all those things must merge with their tax identification. Then those on the site, I keep referring to. Say so many sikano. Do na kogu site. Ukura site. A diamond project ya air cost or binding up to be under the influence. It leaves much to be desired. And we have to be very bold because to achieve success ewa brabumuno enya hogono wa money anya den to America dinner enya da betime achieve very popular but in the long run no aban obenya sika e dey manage economy no e dey ma oman na yeye.
Yes, but me tie dey wo kan into
details. It is something
Finance Minister designate said he would rather think of ways of compliance. I mean, the wabo boss no we already have existing laws making sure taxes, property rate near the no you bet me ajeje. But because of the lack of compliance, yentimi enya the enough revenue yenya from all these sectors wabo boss. I mean, gone are the days Dr. Baumia any NPP are buying a chair no ebo homode Emma Ghana ni bia or Ghana card bia and say yeah can say the Ghana card identification number was the tax identification number as well. And implementing some of these things and enforcing what the laws are required, I mean, will not just be a difficult thing to do. And vis-a-vis, you agree with the minister, but in the interim, any betting tax, should it necessarily go? Mitie unkomo yani baby awa free our day beya.
Kessben. This be a difficult thing to do. And
okay, Mr. Bree will get back again. 30 minutes after 8. Yes.
What about menya club?
Mitiopa, Mitonka.
Kessben.
Very unfortunate. 30 minutes after 8. This is Kessben. Pacho, your numbers, 055-056-7929. 055-056-7929. And your numbers are your day, Juma, and pay. And your economist and financial expert, Miss Obri Yabua, and Edin Komo, and pay about and Koma and Dra Ekoso, Ewo Parliament Appointment Committee, no any.
Kessben.
Loud
and clear.
Okay, Mammy Tio, Twaso Mammy.
It said that now something happen. It has to do with the compliance and before the Ghana for Suni buying. So we see who JBBA the Amaya said Yeni I am fire prim Anna and ya BBN one of my bed ye bay. Enti abino as a show man in year day. Na no together we can achieve something. Said now the deputy minister designate the vetting process. We have just around 13.8% per annum year contribute to the whole GDP in terms of tax payment. Something it will form too much. One of the ways and then we are talking about digitization. Emerson said all our vendors say incubate me the QR system about a dear payment here. Can also babua amo mining yesika bebre. But over Ghana, your system you developing is such that you pay cash holding dodo. A idea and no boa ama oma person mu betua to their ma buy non. They are easy avoid the tax payment. We should create several payment platforms and digital. There should be a conscious effort on the part of government. So ukwa manonia ufuka na kuteska kwa na obi eni ho obeje obeka cho say you should digital platform. Christmas minya kwetu kwa briefly new lending say omu efe bibi go pay eno ana omu train system ni nyina omu asha ase de platform. What are we doing as a country? Yes, bibi ase a ye mani nkosi enkowie ni eja de ato onum. So ye timia create that digital platform so e ama all merchants e wo memu a make before so that people who are doing business ye na ye kwa akoto abeto ne omo beto nyina no e that digital platform na sika eventually the government will be able to amass a lot of revenue go a long way ebeboa ye nyina enti aban no should also promote that digital payment platform so they loopholes in the system no esobeti. So doing or putting all this together with aggressive enforcement edu baby so I don't know, but you should consult the tax expert. If outsourcing in terms of property rate yeah kwaje na outsourcing beboa because all the community pan sikana wo kwaje aba no yebema 10% ya they will be more willing to go and bring the money. Then you set up audit team on mobile fetchy. Yeah, and but for now, we need to think outside the box and see how we can generate enough revenue.
But the usage of digital systems there, I think say baby I do as a country, any Juma Dr. Bawumia and Nanado Danko Ekufuado, I mean we should not have challenges about digital payment system because interoperability Juma say kase government pay.gov ewoho oko citizens app on the sonsua. I mean you are able to do all your payment opesa we apps a buy a lunch under the leadership of Dr. Bawumia. I mean, Ghana Revenue Authority or taxes SSA and which meet ya the citizen app no eso ECG electricity bill SSA Ghana Water. I mean, opesa utia or pension through SNET near Denia Nina no ewo. But the question is that how familiar is the Ghanaian to be able to use this technological apps ebetimi aboa advancing the payment of a year and yema year bobosu yina.
It has to do with education. Omuna kodum pempen so madri ayedi omu benchmark isia oma de no. Isia de form hono no. Enye da kope ana omu sha ase oma kodum pempen so omadri. Omu sha ase free baby. And said the mobile money ever Ghana in the year 2009. It took a conscious effort and with the intervention of Bank of Ghana said no, this is the way we want to go. And Omume key regulated environment very friendly at the Mawumo and next over Ghana have mobile money. I think that you bet me I sa and your money be ebeba ye na ushe mobile money asea. And the year 20 now almost even as at 2011, not only customers be, but they saw that there is a need for them to change their approach. They went to Bank of Ghana. Bank of Ghana made some changes, the rules on the electronic payment platform. And the Ghana need be a what has left for us to do? And they said, as I said, you take a conscious effort. Not that QR code payment system no easy. Enti ukuta phone o ta de utwenye ya woni pakona bo wo the phone no eto so a then the option to approve na da honom kekere 1 minute na ekọ. There are several benefits e beden ye benya wo mu ebebo ama tax revenue no ebekọ so. Two, the cost involved in printing of currencies from considerably. We spend so much money in printing or reprinting of currencies. Three, a confor eba beju sika krana. and then only have physical cash in front of and I'm saying a robust system. No, be a issue with the capital platform T or do phone no easy Canada. We can easily trace where the money went and found the number of account or by transfers we can trace from transaction 1 to the last destination of the transaction. So there are several efforts and benefits in it. So government should make a conscious effort that digitization drive at the previous government we will not allow it to die off naturally, but you better pick with combination of 24-hour economy and all the other good policies
Very well. Mr. B, Mamina was here to pay. I'm highly grateful for your time.
Kessben.
Very well. And to Mr. Obri Yabua, a economist and financial consultant, speaking to us at Opay and bringing us to exactly 21 minutes after 8. This is Kessben. Pacho, shedding some mami say your numbers in here 055-0567-929. 055-0567-929. Binere Kwame Appiah Kubi, Mr. Speaker, highly grateful on Maakye and Opay across the country. Maybe I hear freebie, whether on DSTV, on channel 364, and our Go TV channel 121. So what share or multi TV DJ box no so and pay but yena was on your digital TVs as seda and she and pay thank you so much on radio a 92.9 but in come on we'll get back again to the other aspect na afi yahwe na yatime anywhere din come on messages ni be aba mame and kind be enfama na afi yentwa so enye adwuma. Good morning, Mr. Speaker. I want to express my sentiment regarding yesterday's vetting process in Parliament, wherein President John Dramani Mahama's ministerial nominees were scrutinized. The reduction of ministers is a prudent decision as it pertains a more streamlined and efficient governance structure. However, upon careful consideration of the appointees' responses, I harbor a lot of reservation regarding the finance minister designate, the Honorable Dr. Kessben Atoforsen, whose demeanor and policy orientation appear to be reminiscent of the Atamil's seemingly what equally happened in that approach. I am a person of Andrews, thank you for a message at the free bantima at the ABBA. I'm highly grateful. Well, you say, good morning, Mr. Speaker. Why is it that our favorite show is not on air? Okay, it is always on air. Until Ebeba Anopay after morning show. No? We say, good morning, Mr. Speaker. Ghana, we are going back. Otuado came and then nothing happened. And today too, John Mahama is in without anything better. Thank you for a message. We say, good morning, Mr. Speaker. Indeed, the president's nominees are doing fantastic at the vetting, which occurred yesterday. Yet, we need them to get to work as quickly as possible. The finance minister designate has promised to take off the e-levy, the betting tax, and then e-levy. That is what we expect of them, because that is what they promised the Ghanaian people. Nothing more and nothing less. Thank you for a message. I'm grateful for a message. We say, good morning, Mr. Speaker. Let it be known to the Ghanaian people that President Mahama will honor all his promises, regardless of the difficulties we find ourselves as a country. Andrew Okain, thank you for a message, once again. Alhaji Hamza Eddie B. Abba, Pig Farm, Anna Ubutu, or say, good morning, Mr. Speaker. It is in my humble opinion that restructuring and cutting the size of the ministry from 30 to 23 is the best way to go. At least this will go a long way to cut down the waste and save some monies for the real-time development of our country. Alhaji Hamza, thank you for a message out the free pig farm. We say, good morning, Mr. Speaker. Indeed, President Mahama is at work. What he is doing is the best for our country. Information is the same as communication. So those who do not understand why the information ministry has been dealt away with must equally come to terms with the fact that the communications ministry would do the same as they used to do. Titi Ewokwada, so he sent in that one. Titi, thank you for a message. We say, good morning, Mr. Speaker. Indeed, Ghana is working again, and the reset is going to happen in due course. God bless John Mahama and bless the team. And also the awode abano. Numbers no is 0550-567-929. 0550-567-929. And no numbers anope yade ejuma enti ode messages no eba. Yabeje na yakin kind na edia ma mene the executive secretary at the Ghana Association of Savings and Loans Companies on the finance minister and Koma and Bra Okodi award the appointment committee. Mr. Tunibu Akodi, I want to make a good morning and Pom to say
good morning, Mr. Speaker.
Na mesro position who ye kakrama me na yento nka ye. There are a few breaks in the line. Okay. But not to make us say.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, meton kase say me that's papa. And the your initial impression about finance minister designate in the performance at the appointment committee na yento aso ni nkomo.
Meton kapa.
Yes, maybe sir, your initial impression about the performance of Ato Forsen and Bra at the appointment committee.
Kessben.
Zakodi Abachotimenka. So unfortunate. Very well. We'll come back to it. 27 minutes after 8. Hi, Kessben, 92.9. Now, Maakye.
Yeah, Kwame.
I'm pumped to say. Internet he had the pagina no paper, papa. Yes, Otemenka, I'm asking of your initial impression about the performance of the finance minister. Na yeni ho enkomo.
Ghana funya abaso se yeko asomdwe yeyi mpanimfo foforo a eduma ehye meton kapa.
Yes, to aso mame. Zakodi ya to aso mame meton kapa.
Kessben. Kessben.
Very well. We'll bring him back on the line. Now, Maakye, now we go to a major answer and make.
I call the juice.
Yes. What's the man of pay? Maybe I walk on there.
Nyamia Domara Kwabiaboko.
Is a ye.
Yes, ye pa.
Okay.
Papa will nim de come on soon de pa, Kaminini Kasa Kabeme de pa.
You will get him back on the line. Now, yet to be in the Richard for motor lines in the so now. Yen use of phone lines in the bomb na internet no break it too much. Na yen to aso na yen inkomo. But Andra enye finance minister nkoa na eko appointment committee no enim. The energy minister designating so eko PMO ewo ho. Ma yentie Owura Abdullahi Jinapo on some of his responses about the energy sector na yen to aso enfrio.
Kessben. Kessben.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Let me take the opportunity to also congratulate the Honorable Member on his nomination. There's something that is on the hearts and minds of most Ghanaians, and if we all have a way, we will contribute to ensuring that it doesn't become a headache again. The issue of the inconsistency in the power supply, given the nod, what are you going to do? I have seen you do take some pragmatic steps to aid the president. In the long term, what will you do to ensure that our power and our electricity supply stays on? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable nominee. What will you do to ensure our power stay on?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, we have a current installed capacity of about 5,260 megawatts, a dependable capacity of about 4,800 megawatts. We just hit a new peak demand of 4,100 megawatts. Our grid system is very, very resilient. We've upgraded a lot of our lines from 161 to 330 and 331 kVA lines. So they're quite robust with a lot of injection of primary substations. The first problem we need to address is the issue of fuel. Fuel supply is a major problem confronting the sector. Currently, we have a deficit of about 40 to 60 mm of gas. If you take the gas from EA9, gas from Jubilee 10, and then gas from N-gas, and you put all together, you still have a deficit. And so you have to be depending on some level of light crude oil, some level of heavy fuel oil, and some level of distillate fuel oil. Our immediate objective will be to bridge that gap. We've met Jubilee partners, we've spoken to the partners and the operators, Talo, we've also spoken to Ghana Gas. We are currently doing 100 mm SCAF. We are Singapore, you on the 18th of September 2024 alluded to the fact that when the matter of ECG was up for discussion, you stated that the decision to have a private sector participation wasn't what was good for ECG. However, you have the candid and considered opinion that the interference by politicians and the fact that we need to weed off political interference was the way to go. Fast forward on the 17th, on or around the 17th or the 7th of January, you were heard again on radio stating that you think that the only way forward was to have private sector participation, especially in the metering and collection sector of Ghana Electricity Company. Now, my question to you is, and you back this particular position with the fact that ATC and C, which you just alluded for, and for the benefit of Hansa, we are talking of aggregate technical, commercial, and collection losses, was 40%. Could you please give this committee the breakdown of these 40% losses in terms of A, T, C, and C in the various sectors of that particular aggregate figure? Mr. Chairman, first of all, I'm surprised that this allegation has been leveled against me, because I've remained consistent that there should be a private sector participant in the distribution, especially, like you said, billing and collection. When I was Deputy Minister, I led the process. When Honorable Secretary became my supervising minister, he made me lead the process of privatization. I led the team to India, I led the team to Uganda, I led the team to Kenya to learn from best practices. So I'm surprised. And let me put on record that I've been very consistent that we need private sector participation at the distribution level, except that I disagreed with the format of the PDS, and I maintain that we can do it better. The ATC and C, I think it's about 23% for the technical, and the remaining is the commercial.
34 minutes after 8, this is Kessben 92.9, Kessben TV, live on Facebook at Kessben FM 92.9, and so live on Facebook. More Yusu DSTV, no, channel 364 is live on DSTV, channel 121 live on Go TV, and then on your digital TV, Unyaye on Asida TV. Highly grateful and pay for your time with us. Mamin Court Namine. Dr. Daniel Appiah any enkomo embra na wono governance expert as well about public sector reforms any ne hunkeka hunyina na I mean wamudi mu akotine ye from the University of Ghana the Public Administration Department na mene no any enkomo. Doc Otemenka, good morning. Nempom to say hello, Doc Otemenka. No, Kotimenka, good morning.
Kessben.
Hello. So unfortunate. 35 minutes after 8. This is Kessben. Nana, Marimbra was so na one monitor kakra. Maminchia, Madame Fubako war Addis Ababa, the African Union headquarters in Ethiopia, and Ope Joseph. Yes, and Ope Joseph all the way in Addis Ababa. Joseph also appeared there. The daughter friend Joda. Joda, good morning in Addis Ababa. And Ope Muhunina, I say African Union for Yachiamu. Mamembra was so na yeni enkomo about issues and dry course so before the appointment committee. We'll bring back the expert here try say you don't be in komo via Zoom. Richard for almost phone lines in yeni komo free or the internet is disrupting the program. Na yento aso en free ho. Na mamintio na yento aso.
Yes, Kwame. Mr. Mamenya me passionate appeal bi Kwame. Kwame wa hu yeni ma say ball bi egu enu ano.
Ahefa
yenimu hey with as that 20 opposite one ball and you go on
ayi hono mono your friend is a bus stop hono
titole yenimu hey
yes
Kwame, have you seen the baller
and brass a many tries
one baller out sa baller no
yeah
on the ground a door swat to the stand say Kwame many times 2 as a 3 I will fire service for anymore
I will a overhead
nasi baller sumo and a fire service for anymore. And also ballers one. Kwame.
And baby a traffic light you who could run about now back.
Aye.
To a TikTok lane hanoboa. Baby a trotro for the party or hono overhead nasi hona so almost to be a gua.
Yes, Kwame. Ena La Paz Kwame time. La Paz from New Boy. Ufi New Boy side hoba.
Yeah.
Move 100 meters beyond 50 meters. Yeah, he put baller Kwame. Udu Amagana opposite. Amagana rice. Omo office no opposite. La Paz baby a fakan. A background Kwame. Baller pa egu hono. You be shocked. Medina market. Malata market Kwame. Na baby a near the baller be bu Ghana. Makola. Makola Kantamanto Kwame. Chese kwade misi ajiensem. What is really the problem, Kwame?
Okay. Now remember no what do cobra. But main call Mr. Akebo Akudi asem. Mr. Akudi Abacho good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker.
Fanche adope internet na frustrating the papa. Normal, but you went to us here, Juba. And let me be so quick one. As president, executive secretary at the Association of Savings and Loans. I mean, economic policies don't do no affecting Mujumedia Mudi. But my initial impression, especially you in particular, about Andra finance minister performance or put up at the veteran na afayen to us in common.
Yo, me da wase na Maakye wati ko no ahwefo nyina na yakacho bia say me bia afisiapa na sesi anso ya to abawie eyi aban foforo enra finance minister oba be hwa soya yen yeye mu adwuma no parliament to na no ye dia ye hwa ye hwe Bisaya who say policies bang and abano war bano or de eba de ababwa savings and loans for a juma ye serve more than 7 million customers almost ebe how almost investors so confident akosrana. That is where we look at, and we share some of the policies now. Almost a kind partnering with the private sector. No, one of the key things are enye no keke minimum de osie ebe yo beya ye nu kita hodie no ebetumi akonenim ade ba ko biem so ye say o hwe ase ne udi kan say
Hello, Mr. Kodu Yachimenka.
Business do no enye multi-billion-dollar business. Name bojo any family business and community business. And a hono momo so na yen member savings and loans companies no e support pa. Enti se abano wo aniswade hunu se e bibi te se o se obe support SMEs ya. O support SMEs yen expect say omo this can be kwa SMEs in them. Name pass it through the sector, the system. What the bema yen institutions no say muna munim omo ji loan omo tua. No so be boama liquidity aba non-bank sector no. Again, e be boama yen institutions no so no. Ye the niema be go akwam so okay so wo pese won sa eka ana wo kan aban dwumedie we ho a wo corporate governance wo risk management wo operations say you say and also be show more bomodin nkunan amoma ye ne more so we are building businesses for the Ghanaian people themselves. In the idea, we are very confident say Abano and a minister Obano Obudeni Ewu Niema so name Obama the near core non-bank sector no because social Ghana Hana a baby criminal na non-bank sector no had a lot of support. Into this support we want to see free Abaya waba for frono. Yeah, so yedika kra chro they call the office of the president and sakra yedini bisi so say ya ready ya hoboa say ye beboa no ama na nisu ade hu no sansa se ye boa no ma na nisu ade hu no koso a ye Ghana nyina na e koso efie mu be koso businesses be koso abusia e be koso nti we stand to support the government vision and the BMO so you say you hear some restructuring for the industry. Oko amanone kurahudo so even Africa here, Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda. Oko wa ubehu say aban kasa wo specific in say emma microfinance industry no savings and loans for the
yes.
And we want to see this. Abanyo chairman yebi ye drafted national microfinance policy. Adeba kwa ye says Parliament minister minister designate etumwa naso yeso ni no be minister ye ne betena se na ye ne no edi nkomahwe how our policy no a bit to me akonenim ye begiatum e biemu so ye emra ye debo non-bank sector no ho ban no
okay
wo sha most of no ya na quite say ye the savings and loans for the finance house for you know fra banks but banks you may be unique from savings and loans companies enti adentina yenhwe kwan a ye be fa so a ye be pe asuye bia specifically for the microfinance sector savings and loans for no more pushy that sector. Almost say Kenya for use credit union microfinance they developing economy.
Yeah.
E ho say wo ko ha transport system or adwuma Kenya city no about 99% are owned by the SACCOs, that's the credit and savings cooperatives. Njade into na yensu yentu minhwe say yensu Ghana Ghana ye betu nia ya ye de be boa e ma nyuma koso no mo fa nyuma because we share savings and loans for mo be bia wo Ghana ha say every region be bia adwuma kase ntimi nkono obedu ho na microfinance savings and loans e wo ho nti ye de ye wa reshemu say honorable atofos na parliament atotuna no so omo gine tumu ye ne be ye adwuma na Ghana afa no ntoma pa enso afra.
Very well, but Andra, the needed response no ebaya now because you himself in the debt restructuring program, no, a lot of your members no in your haircut, one more do musika to commercial banks no so akoye investment, government bonds near dia omoto ye maturity aso ye ntimi antua ne ade haircut abem bebre na wo no ma maturities no your postponing payment of the principal and then interest SSA banning na but per the to force in a kind no monya the rightful hope sir and no sabino is in full shape Munkro for musika kodi mu nyina no abai betu ya ne back e dia mo ana
ye de ni eda so ne se ade biara ebeboa amasika sem akonenim Ghana ade biara ebeboa ama aban no enyi businesses in free ho because baby to say aban no timi boa ma inflation ba form treasury bill rate e ba form a feel ye betumi ama more loans e betumi people nso benya reshemu di sika ba beto ye ho nti saa nema ne koso a ye de ye wogidie se e betumi aboa ama ya sistema koso DDP e de ne de aba betwam de koduru ho no ayade a ye nyina ye hyem plan se ma yen enko ho biem ade ba akopa ade kodu ho ne se interest rate na ekosro ebre and na treasury bill na aban no de ye free bibi se crowding out businesses ke se woni private sector no si akan e fa sika e wo se ye de investment aban de investment inti ye de ye wa reshemu ss fundamentals no into my personal businesses no be calling him.
Hello.
Almost issue policy without engaging with us.
Okay.
We Riemu, Ensumu, Anopo, Anaju. Ebeba. No. Biomo so kra na yen twen mo mo mfra ye kra ansa di kan kra chro we di akoto ho se ya ye ready
okay
inti abribi ha no ye de ye hwehwe se ten ye be ya ye customers hwe Mr. Speaker me say so wo fa last year pa loans savings and loans for the man ya afi me hwe books no afi na me hu adwure me me say loans are increasing so much from 2 billion to see a loan balance cry bro that's 4 billion 7 billion so deposit here now what form to see a deposit has also risen your total assets last year a movie from 7 billion to 9 billion and you gonna say your customers know what we should be with you enti eni kwan say yidi omu hiamo enti ya kanchre ye savings and loans members ni nyina so obi amobodin say ni customers wonu omu digwa no omu be digwa no wo payim open doors ena emwa bia nso a Bank of Ghana enso betime di aboa no nyina yemfamwa na yenkoyenim
very well. Mr. Godia, I don't pay my man and now was a papa. And Mr. Appiah Kubi, Executive Secretary Edema, the Association of Savings and Loans, and pay speaking to us. But Bamene, Ruben in Sia, any and Como Executive Secretary Edema, Sesam, and Adope, he's speaking to us, the Center for Environmental and the Akika Kahunina. Oria Maakye
me boche a woni ni company din die asemo
o boche
me boche a woni Center for Environmental Management and Sustainability
be a body na o no diabolic da yo be a fine
na me ado boche ba jo na bia woko de
already had no me so be oh baby one page am see already
Mr. Speaker
Berendra, Minister, are converted. Heard him say obeteki the seat at the Energy Ministry. Now, I feel yet me didn't come up. But the takeout from the vetting, no, Mamintio, when you share impression on it, not yen to us.
Yeah, me who free vetting the minister designated.
You on the 18th of September.
And we are prepared to work to resolve these challenges in our sector. And that is what I've seen. And say over to me, I resolve the challenges. No, there's always a time lag. That and I say we tweak us that's in a betray.
Now the substantives, you know, a
bit consider opinion that
promises we power authority any VR the edikai one more say aban ebekasa companies me no abom na ababeya one na afi one mwenya other two major departments under it and no the edikai the major of two major authorities see and which you know minister mentions I mean, the consideration to privatize the electricity company of Ghana is as well on the table. Now, omunsu suyemono, omo pese expert, and lead that particular arrangement. And you know, just as PDS hun say some koba bebre, this time round they've learnt lessons. So concessionaire, and the beboa, they will go ahead, but committee, made up of 7 members, experts, lawyers wom war financial background ni nyina nso ewom na afi yahwe ne yede ho enkomo baby aye drino isn't it too early to say sir conversation see you betimi dey up
it is and it is not depending on how you look at issues but I would have wished Samiba it is too early now I would have wished minister designate and I say abaya wadia kunya for no obe what we call a social impact assessment because you are going to sell an asset of Ghana and they will say, oh yeah, our research to find out what Ghanaians perceive or think about this whole privatization and how it's going to affect their daily lives. Okay. So you have to do the social impact assessment, which is a research area that they also carry out to know what Ghanaians feel. At the end of the day, OBTMI is 7 experts, but 7 experts may not hold the larger opinion of the masses, behind various interests, and they push these guys into making a final determination of the privatization of UCG. So you need a social impact assessment. I don't think that it will take less than 6 months to even finish that particular report. Maybe that is the early part. Now the not early part, it's also in the sense that they also know Kai was sector 1. ECG now may nobody come on and say what broken and all broken no someone must pay. And this is a private equity in a bit me ama yetimi etia kana. Then anybody who I am the private equity to be able to redeem our debt and make ECG very reliable in terms of say obitimi a supply power area mine. That is 1. Now 2, and so they say ECG distribution losses are and distribution losses the more na or my Ghana in 2017 around 23.4%, even 24%. And PRC benchmark of about 24% say that benchmark no broswa is not allowable. Broswa one also secretary, but that 24% you factor it into the tariff structure so that it is allowed for you to incur those losses. And I know your position is because of the want to South Africa for Kenya for any amount this one 10%, maybe 7%, maybe 4%. But I am quite 24%, but that is what PRC position here. About 30%. So we have exceeded our allowable benchmark with respect to distribution losses by the discourse. So Jaima, privatized within the shortest possible time. I am buying on a consumer media. Distribution losses so the problem. But now the other part also the redundancy of the whole system. ECG adwuma for asabi omon fata and omon di be so be adwuma ho ebi musu kra nya adwuma obekọ they have overstaffed until overstaff no ebi tisi omon nya adwuma and even overstaff no they are not very effective because I think the omon team resolve a lot of challenges at the localized level. They are not so efficient in terms of managing their issues. Many are so meter edum ofie and I say ofia ofre ECG e be take 1 month kwa no mai. So person say meter and guardia was say free no may take you corner bra. Sometimes 6 months for you to get meter. Even though they have a lot of staff, but effectiveness and efficiency is not a team. And there's a lot of the redundancy there. We are not abiding. Ye or mountain temuna, privatization. Privatized person, no very rationalize the employment of ECG, and then make sure that at the end of the day, you sue employees are best level with efficiency and effectiveness. Company into my. And lastly, no, we are now abiding. So check Accra. Political interference is one of the major reasons why ECG into my. This me check Accra. Ghana Nekoswa interfere in the operations of ECG. So let's find a private person to take over and then manage it and make sure that it becomes very viable, very profitable, and also give us a stable and uninterruptible power. I think that maybe anything by a person, but before we need a social impact assessment.
Yes, the social impact assessment they are very key, because I keep asking myself, sir, I mean, the cost of energy in the hands of a private person, no, Sena ABC Accord, especially for industries and households. The average Ghanaian already complaining, almost use prepaid meters, the Brenazzi meters, and the cry you same boat meters, and yeah, they are airboa. And you know, I mean, how should all this interest be factored into the new arrangement, Minister? I mean, a proposing.
Yeah, me know meters no TN route minister designate now. Or terms of meters, almost 3 million of them are malfunctioning. And it tells you that procurement is also a problem at ECG. Who procured them? Why did they fellow procure malfunction meters? And some of these in because the ECG, before private started privatizing or whatever I want to do, we need to also audit and investigate all their managerial and financial decisions or muteki, because there will be the 3 million meters are by Nepapa. Some prosecution must be done. So at the end of the day, Ghanaian never suffer. Because a Ghanaian suffer, company needs suffer. Until a company boka 8 billion Ghana cedis, 6 billion Ghana cedis, with huge liabilities of 47 billion Ghana cedis. So, obi decision na mayako. Until a prosecution being a wire and prosecuting the panel, so they serve as a warning for any particular person or managing state entity badly. And yes, I obi ababe sum na wasena sana abia wakope wat babiatna.
Then finally, the proposal to merge a Yabui Power Authority and then the Water River Authority, is that the right way to go? And then
okay, I think such proposals were not made by this government. One of the advisor, World Bank, Elima Ghana, said, your generators now state-owned entities. Even some of the regulators in the sector, Energy Commission, PRC, there was this proposition of merging them. During both manifestos, NDC and MPP, they were very straightforward with some of these entities. They will say merging. Now, the importance is that, you see, these two entities are about equity, Kessben, and equity, Kessben, the reason why VRA sometimes is not able to make profit is because of the thermal side. Because we Power Authority says in its inception, say, we Power Authority, Abribia will make it profit. Averagely will make it 340 million Ghana cedis a year. Or a profit-making entity. VRA also has that capacity or ability to make profit, but because of the thermal side now, sometimes Oboka Jamframabi, natural gas, meaning Yamabi, and other buying into any company. But VRA the profitability volatile or to boka kakra or make it profit kakra. So say imagine one thing a bit nyama. Two companies at one, ebe make it profit because it also lead to certain retrenchment. Ebe yinkophobia di. And then obi oyed more how baby hydro manager uko VRA or essentially hydro manager. But you at least there one director, now two guys or but all these companies have different directors. So you better rationalize employment. But administrative and general expenses even though in some crowd but still kakra. Aside that, there's what we call economies of scale. In terms of purchases, or motor BBS from on or better Kessben, or motor Kessben now must bonus what a bonus it goes to benefit this particular new arrangement. So that the reason why I'm also merging these companies is about cost and being efficient.
Okay.
To count efficient. Now, lastly, at the back of PRC, no private person, no civil society, no government agency should allow themselves to be blackmailed by public utility workers union. That blackmail my trim, because you were there and these companies were making losses. You never uttered a word. You never uttered a statement. What is privatization now? Who say you be no? Now the statement about no blackmailing whatsoever. That is what happened at TOR. When TOR wanted to privatize, there's a worker union at TOR from petroleum and chemical workers, whatever they call them. They came here. Today TOR is in debt of almost 11 billion Ghana cedis. TOR is the only company with negative equity in Ghana here. Negative equity, which means what is Sikano Ebesashi. But these workers are there, over 800 of them are there, kicking against any government policy or person. We should not allow any public utility worker union here to blackmail us. As of mine, we should be very straightforward with our policy and direct. Only
Very well, Ben. I'm grateful for your time. Bye. Ben is here, Adameneno, at the Encombon, Executive Director, Eddie Masemse, speaking to us. But Doc also every lines in this, so unfortunate. It's 1:09. Thank you for your time. Go Paul.
Yeah, Kwame.
Yes, Mami Tio na Bre Mumame na Union so Atenasi Waba. And Tom Center himself.
Daladi.
I'm actually. No, Najimezo.
In the major of Fantin. Never Fantin. No Fantin. Muhi once.
I'm also Yabedru. I call Yaba. You're the boy of Ghana for you know. Why? Go
Yes, Kwame.
Yes, Baby Browse would have been Tio Kakra on the subject I are discussing now, but Jumam Yenubi or why you be Obola de Dieno and the Ashanti region, so I have but Mammy Tio on the substantive issues I had the home common.
Okay,
Mammy call line one.
Okay, no problem.
Mammy Dr. Daniel appear ending como a quick one, Emra. Doc, what do you mean, imagine?
Better one can pay my watching my.
Doc Medasi Papa Pasano pay so now generally John Mahama, His Excellency, has taken office in about 7-8 days now, and there is only 1 week you didn't know AC Akonya so but so far and more our 2 appointment one making directives are by revocation of appointment and need the way forward for the general governance of our state.
I'm going to pay Oshe and a more bino a tour. My message every baby, like I say, about Nabaso. The number of ministries are bino it may reduce from 30 at the about 23. And say, on me one area, Ghana for the brain, especially for the brain, Yadrian Kessben Kumu say, your ministries no endorse no. Ministers a fairness a drain on the public purse and I say you seek you say ministers
thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
So I buy as a you reduce the ministries from 30 about 23 into honor your bono about now appointments and so why you so far no so now like I say appoint your more almost a proud experience almost several as deputy ministers into any more fina one more about the area and as someone named DS and a managing ministry. No so me born or abaso because more appoint on me give more competence office of Attorney General Dr. Dominic Ayene or Minister of Finance Ato Forsen about to Forsen and Minister for Energy now. Our proud experience. More experience, somebody been so now any experience and so the other side, and so Mukra, almost problems and our challenges that some of the ministers and almost see and somebody at them also. Now, me Kobe beer, man say, I think I'm expect to say, and Cabano bit me to the Namon can say, oh, share a party no manifesto. Canadian title no first 120 days social contract na. There it kind was through and it said the party shall nominate within the first 14 days the complete list of cabinet ministers for parliamentary approval. And yes, so I buy in year 7 like I said, and now yes. In the Akana so manifesto no say complete list of cabinet ministers on Ben nomination and also omo ewie na wo say nioma ekomu yes na by no chance omo nominate ministers na edoso enti no na o twe ba ko akayi no mean to me who say omo betumi achieve with that target not some Ben nominate cabinet complete list of cabinet ministers na Okoye constitution no cabinet ministers no should not be less than 10 and should not be more than 19. Now o nominate almost so area or say a parliament so inya botre na mo yem pensen mu e wo mo ansa na approve mo nti e say na o twe da ni no a complete list of cabinet ministers no on bet me no mo fulfill part of the party manifesto no nti ho no mo say dia me wo eka e wo ho no no e no.
Very well. And no, then it means he's on course. But so far, also revocation of appointment of board chairpersons and members of public corporations, commissions, and also the revocation of appointment at the MMDCs, and also plus many other. And the Abano, the revocation of appointment for the executive director and chief executive at the Minerals Income and Investment Fund. I mean, and you many be who I was na ibin so ha ye nipa edi. Is that the rightful way to go? And as I said, at least until say buy the take a full shape, no. Sa nim the fo nyina no etina ho ye adwuma kakra.
Yo, I'm the Presidential Transition Act na.
Yes.
Emma abaya obe no ekwan first steps I will take and to me it take it. At the same time, you know, I say your sense when say who revoke a appointment for of MMDCs, you know, any board members near them power vacuum everywhere. And then you know your critical sectors of the state, me to say a local government. At the end of the day, you know, and then I share a municipal district and metropolitan assemblies in and then you know, and then I will revoke a appointment of MMDC. None can be expected to by now, dear, or think our nominated minister for local government at the end of the day.
Okay.
We are my son or revoke no now free ye being authority and a voice be or authoritative a free throw a direct MMDs no ekwanya also mafaswa omoyomnyama but so be sorry na feel be hu say ebia party phobia na tax phobia na nkofobia yenimo aboewura assembly bi ana ya boewura adwumako bi mu na fe ye pam omo ye adwuma ho no mo dada ana fe ye ni minister bia or the authoritative voice e ba be directive na esi bi ye nyama ho no mo ne megide say e wo say aban no ehwe ni ye kaka and many yaka na ochi and your channel many budget and come who say minister for local government be ya appointed o share near my see what baby to say a jura and so a use be a police station na afraid basa korma which means the ministry be a very critical ministry for interior o share a list of 23 year interior eka Minister for Interior, because the same appointed no be directed near Matthew Besibiako, internal security, and no money at the Sana, Majid say, oh, no, no, a hard drink kakra, I was a buying in any issue.
We are told, sir, I don't know, and you're politically motivated. I don't know your cruma, almost police, you know. And your drivers armed robbers attack you on how much you were quite so a few days ago, one more cocoa over 70-year-old driver. And no na this basa yeno eba edra. And I don't know specifically no and you're politically motivated.
You I say me can't say politically motivated, but now me can't say a whole a Juma no a Juma, yes, better than can say minister for interior. was an inside that's one answer be a nominating no I was say or take control over your mind because internal security no here ye pa now here by me party no a national Thanksgiving service war inclined. And so, may say be a mini security expert yet. And so, say, will be a minute, the baby or baby, and be to me cry walk in. Will be a say be a then so bottom, and answer then the crowd, and I say be a one father, the ABM, man, say be a BBC, and honestly, not many ends. And not me expect to say. Minister for Interior now more to me a better internal security arrangement at the time. Or the appointee or baby to say Ministry of Education so as school way air corner pay more free a fine some more come binya baby ada na one aspect and so problem get to one by now I would say yes but the you be nominate a Minister for Education sana help and so into their critical sectors of the economy yes but by now the nominees should have been out just as your nominee finance and energy and attorney general.
We are 1 week down the line until we hope say within this week next week appointment but just as they have promised. Doc I'm highly grateful.
You mean so me that was it
and Dr. Daniel Appiah is with the Public Administration Department of the University of Ghana, speaking to us, a governance expert, telling us more about the Ayakoso no Sese. 12 minutes after 9, but there's a boafi and then very jumabo, Manager Maakye.
Yeah, near Minia. Radio Moko, oh, yeah, the uncle see Kaka, but say you pay, very nice into your pay. Oh, say, cow. We saw us, and I say, oh, the why you can cry. Sana, you need a bearman and I shake.
Manager. November, I'm not okay.
You made it,
Manager. And say, Urayima, every Bayport savings and loans, now of many Bayport for aiding come briefly. Now, I feel Yaba Ababetua so in the studio. But I finish as year 2024, you know, bon come ye, Juma Bebre, Etron Fasodia, and what fixed deposit home. And I pay Medimse manager at Nasi and home come and what they ever. Manager will be a home year, dear. But
Radiadum, Bayport, I share Boko and Yefa Sakwenya so ma yenina ehon official panso
I think come to your face so officers na hoden wo
sa ahoden ne sika ne enwosra wo bebre
amen sika de ho hia nti abo bi ma me mo
mate
Maria my ending komo
yo anape so yeda se Yefa Sakwenya so chia Kessben etifo ne ahwefo nyina yesi afefo from and ehun be hia so say yesi afefo from no yesi count to ye no so ye behwe na ya ye ho akwan yi se de be ya ebe ma afe no akoyi ama ye nyina enti no ende de ye futuo na Bayport ye de to etifo ne ahwefo nyina etiemu ane say 2025 ese unya a financial goal usika semu ntotoe no ese ode botae bi esi weni so na botae bi si weni so a eho behia se obenya sika krabia odo ho to so a problem bia emba enu nti na Bayport ana pay pese eni udi enkomo kakra na yehwe kwan e fa so a ebetumi aboa na usika semu ntotoe in 2025 no ebe yesoronko achen the past year no enti Bayport Savings and Loans a multinational brand yaye ejuma of Ghana for over 21 years and we have operations in 9 countries across the world. Your products from Kubia and no yaye a comma ubia say 18 years na a means of raising 5,000 kwa dia you qualify to sign on to this unique product. I a friend of fixed deposit no. enti no fixed deposit say udu sika to sika krabia emre bi se de be ya ne butai nyina ne se obenya emfaso ewo so enti flexible a yewo 3 months there yewo 6 months there and yewo 1 year there enti yesi 2025 mu yi afine be ko ne wie na opese wo raise sika bia there should be a goal. What set goal ne wie no? How will you achieve this goal? And nuntina anapeyu humi. And the numbers see a good screen so me ma encheche mono you can pick the numbers. Ubet me a WhatsApp yen, ubet me a chat yen, ubet me a frɛ na yaboao. Entino emfaswa ubenya ewo Bayport fixed deposit na hono. Bebre. The kind say ye promise attractive and competitive interest. And faswa udu sika be to Bayport a ubenya no. Very very attractive. Eya kono na and it doesn't come with any bank charges. Enti same primpri ya ka say you the 5,000 abet to Bayport say oh ye fixed deposit for 1 year. 1 year ne be so no 5,000 no. Ebe ye 6,300. Say o the 20,000 to Bayport fixed deposit more for 1 year. 1 year no usika a 20,000 no ebe ye 25,200. O ye 50,000 so for 1 year. In a year's time 50,000 ebe wo na be ye 63,000 na eba se eso na uhia usika nso a within 24 hours unsaka usika opese o ye withdrawal opese o san ye investment ni bio mu nso a akwenya ewo ho. And these are the few examples mabobo entino this year ye can for fixed deposit Bayport fixed deposit amo bia se moye ejumaku se moye sorry se moye fund managers wankasa nso opese uye bia as an individual is open. The minimum is 5,000 cedis and above. Ubetumi nso aye rate negotiations amount na ode ba no eduru 100,000 and above nso a akwenya wo ho se ye hwe interest na ye kan wasem. Bank of Ghana my license ye de ye ejuma enti ejuma ye ne hote and for the past 21 years we've been doing business enti no ye baye a ye pese this year 2025 no ye boa obia na ne sikasem botaye opese oduru hu no ye boa no ma oduru hu enti numbers ne ye 0245 15 32 83 and I say 026 300 7922. Yes, ofre manager make us ofre me obinya me na yedi nkomo opese ye boa na otete oniema so budget ye boa how to prepare, how to cut down on your expenses na ade nyina ye be boa so de be ya this year no e be so unique na obotaya opese oduru hu no wadu.
Okay. But obi wo ho no ma on the account with Bayport obi wo ho no ma wo ka say ya na ye ka say na wo tie yen on save wo Bayport da ode monya adwuma bia embo mo da enti why ne qualify say I mean obetumi de ne ho ahyem bi.
Okay, enti no obi a obetumi a qualify say obebie sa fixed deposit account ni bi obi a wenya 18 years or Ghana card enti say wo ye Ghanaian na wo Ghana card now minimum of 5,000 na ebro so a ye dini nyina ene de unlimited sika ne kese bia no de Bayport Australia you betumi aya amount. You need to have a Ghana card and 18 years and above pacho eno na obetumi de qualify e bia account ni bi nti ye be savings account amawa eno mu na obeye investment ahodo nyina nti no ende wo 5,000 why first investment maybe in a month's time wasanya another 5,000 you can equally do a second investment and also be run it separately but will be in the same account now will be able to be put into as long as you have funds. I drew 5,000 or per se we invest in akwenya ewo homa so the be ya be boa ma osika 7 faso no so akọ nenimpa
but George mo chia kwan na fa numbers no etu dwa biem say obi pese Obama nkyɛn ne mo bedi nkɔmmɔ a hemfa na wɔnkɔ numbers bɛn na wɔmfrɛ.
Okay, in Ghana ha yɛwɔ 56 locations in Ghana.
Okay.
Nti bebi bi a wo a wo hwɛ yɛn a wotie wonni Ghana koraa na or email we can even communicate through email. Forms I bet me asend ya ma o na ya ye bibia ma o said ya ya be discuss no afei nso o Ghana ha nso a o frɛ na ye hu bibia o a ye be hwɛ nearest branch a ben o se uni Accra ha na ya direct o na wa ba na ya hwɛ o kama enu free ho nso na se o Accra ha na kasoa winiba ne nimpote mu a obetumi aba Accra ye wo kokomlemle ye ben ATTC Accra Technical Training College ye ne omo edi nhwani mu nti uduro ho na ofre nko ade a obetumi aba ya hwe ho na ya hwe na ya boa. This year a good year na decisions ni bi wo a we need to start right nti first week second week ya uni account brani mbi account ma na yemboa o na yen save no kakran na afe no beso no na onfa so no aye bebre me pa cho numbers ni biom 0245 15 32 83 and I say 026 300 79 22. Yes,
very well. Made us manager.
Yes,
I'm grateful for your time. Chocho soap would drama so pacho ye di dware. I don't know chocho heba fresh you know. The yeast can rashes. Scars a hodo ni nyina no e clear ni nyina. The teach you more pimples say wo money mo bebre no. Say wo yisu chocho soap e dey your seminar wo di dware da bia no a. Yini nyina no e dey free ho ama we dey nani e da so pa. Wa wo pese wo toni wo skin no dey. Wa cho wo seminar say wo yisu a the chocho soap. Ba one no and no chocho herbal fresh and afi what the liquid soap and pacho hwam ye pa na edi jesem no edi se ni nyina no purely natural herbal 100%. Yemfa bibia chemical bibia no edi adopa bra na begibi naton bi ebeboa apagya wudwa wodi no emo pacho chocho bam no ewo waposo ye oya ifra dwuma ekofia ya na wote ya pa adopa yisu chocho bam no na emwa wo the best sa wo joint ahodo ni nyina na be clear pain ni nyina no de amount na e review ma won so ohun echemi ato chocho skin toner no pacho ma wedie enkasa emma we nya de po wedie ni bi da bi oye tuntuma be ma wo wedie no agie ne ho tuntum ni be pie na ufa di se wo ba te se de bi nu ya ye ode wo sti tuntum se yo pa chocho skin toner no ebeboa body cream no ho asem na make and opay you so be na emwa we ye chocho shower gel medical culture that you so it a lot of good fragrances ma ho hwam ye pa and opay ebeboa pacho pe no do mo tu a kosuhum na woni wo mo eni nkomo emfiri na wo mo ebeje wo so ye wa wo pe no do mo tu a to no speak to them wo beje wo so na immutable mixture number 1 immune system booster. And the player ye din komo e wo bi wo ho a yare board kakra bia na akano e de na to form. But your immune system na ye weak enti no effectively wo mo entimi enkuntia yare bia. And the play boost you kwamwa na ekutia yare no na afi yare a e be ni nyina no wo mo entimi enfighting. But your herbal shops ni nyina mo benya boost no ni bia so chemical shops and then pharmacies I would want nyina no eton bi and pay only one more any nkomo emom from one more on 0246 208496 0246 20846 na when one more 8496 na only one more any nkomo mo bejo so ahwe aboa wo 28 minutes after 9 now we're back to the studio by Rako for report so na yeni nkomo pacho your numbers no 0550567929 0550567929 and no any numbers are ye dey edge messages no nyina what about you jacking kind nyina e dey amount what been born my mouth so that mean
yes Kwame
yes
my man and also Akwaba. Awol. Absent without leave. So I said moving it down.
There was a slight leave.
The absent without leave.
Anyway.
Because let me producer no. Let me producer GBC. The la Muntakabu Barak na Korebia or the Maya na Okasa or the Samuel Fina Leba. No me small. The DPO late if you know ma. One of the pest assistant to Muntaka. DPO late eti Obani FN the late Uma.
Charlie.
Yes, Kwame. Yesterday I watched the vetting. Was a nice to watch all the three nominees. Kwame Appiah. I took my time, Kwame. I watched the vetting.
Okay.
Now, let me say this, Kwame.
Yes.
2016. Ebeka 3 months. When the electionary campaign was at its peak, and Oman Penini, nominated a branch to be Uti Bless.
Okay.
Say, Uncle Deputy Minister for Local Government and Rural Development, no free Western region. So I appear before the vetting committee, and all the appointment committee members, say he made a wide allegation be any some dangerous remarks be on Macfa Chief Justice Georgina Wood, former Chief Justice, and some judges in the Supreme Court on it Akwagan Obekaisa Muntie 3 issue nearby. It's the Muntie people were jailed partially, and that guy no Okahubi. It won't qualify say as I say your money minister. In fact, the minority at that time decided say or more approval, and some of the majority so crackers or more nominating. It will disapprove. 26 October, and a parliament the base yet to swaba, which is the voice votes, and the guy sailed through. You understand? Those who say eyes, you say eye for eye, and you won, and acquired the deputy minister for 3 months. Kwame, Omanpenyi, John Dramani Mahama, he said we want to reset this country.
Yeah,
Kwame, the resetting of this country, it is not only about recovering loot properties of this country. It is not about fixing the struggling economic indicators of this country, but integrity and honesty. And Kofu free say, free it has been evaporated from this country. So ultimately restore, people will start investing their hope in President Mahama. I remember I read this book, Working with Rollins, which Professor Kwame Appiah made some revelation be about Nkofua na President Rollins a sign a pen sign a signature ni yukukuomo se omudi nyambrasama. Then they went to President Rollins and say the international communities they have started speaking against a normal way. In order for the revolution to make popular, let's stop all these things. They stopped the revolution. People started embracing the revolution. President Mahama should know say obi oye propagandist bia oba appear before the vetting committee say a bonwa on withdraw the nomination. Kwame, you bring your hope say this country, we are really resetting this country. Uncracking the whip of resetting the country. Now obi bia wa making wide allegation. Obi bia making unsubstantiated remarks. I want me to substantiate before the vetting committee. You withdraw the nomination because Oko in this year they have quality, competent individuals. So today, Nana knew how somebody will be there equally to Nana. Kwame Appiah Kubi knew somebody equally to Kwame Appiah Kubi, maybe better than Kwame Appiah Kubi will be there. Yesterday, something happened. You remember the loggerheads between Gideon Boakwe and Atofos? Gideon Boakwe say, Dr. Gideon Boakwe, in fact, he won a lot of people's hearts yesterday. And he was a man of the movement on the appointment committee yesterday as a first timer, Obi first time a member of parliament. Now we'll show how he grilled and dazzled himself on the appointment committee. You know, I dropped my heart for Dr. Gideon Boakwe. He did well. Yesterday he said that, look, Ora Kesilato force organizing lectures. B. Emma or the figures be Barbontin for Ghana economic indicators. I don't want to bore the tea for a while, but let me cut it short. Now, some figures are accurate.
Yeah.
Now, no, I to force him say I didn't accurate. So is he ready to apologize to Ghanaians? Which the chairman of the committee are here for. Drawn attention, say he has no right to tell the nominee to apologize. It is not their part of their standing orders. Say Bibi Bonwa on one about play on but it shouldn't come from Dr. Gideon Boakwe. Understood? But you see, Atofose did something. He said that, look, fine. Everything that I said, I got the data from the IMF. Imagine, Kwame, say, had it not been the IMF data, and or copy different or did the team in the back when Timia stopped shitty with the Dr. Gideon Boakwe was with a volume of facts. Kwame na ko the quietness or by. And such a person, so Tantua, Kwame, no Kwana so by. We entreat President Mahama. Such things will be happening. Sanoma ekosu bebrebesi our vetting committee nasi. You conform Tantua a fact. And Kofua, Omo make allegation bia, they know perfectly where sending the correct. Someone appear before the vetting committee, no man to stop that shit here. Yami draw nomination. Then people will say that we are resetting this country. Ora Victor Smith, former aide to President Rawlings, 2009, appeared before the vetting committee as the Eastern Regional Minister. And Ombudsman said, you, there was a time you were not ready. On the newspaper, captured a newspaper, international community, someone that they were all watching, reading this newspaper. Say, President Kofa Koto oil concession, Kuwait, now Oduomoka $5 billion, it will be loot to this country, the Akwakutria. Some facts they tell us more. He apologized and said that it was a political talk. Obi awatimi atantro ni approve the nomination. No akwakwaya regional minister. Obia ni integrity, uni on integrity. When Timia defend this adeno. Madam Ama Benuado say Nanado Dan Kokufuado edili cocaine. Were narcotic during the 2008 elections. Or for narcotic to or double NPP a narcotic National Narcotic People's Party NPP. You understand? National Narcotic Party NPP. Obubusan say, okay, tell us more. Because Nanado Dan Kokufuado new patriotic party for our presidential candidate and you're defeating him. Who's will deal cocaine? Tell us more so that we can deal with him. Was a political talk. But her nomination was approved to acquire regional minister. Here we are resetting this country. Obi obebe bia obeka someone as someone want to mean Kano President Mahama and Sakano may trust President Mahama because if Victoria Hama said that, look, if I get $1 million, or then I know the kind of keke one Korea will be a sika. What is say? Intention on your desake no meboa. It is a obi bien no keke kase menya $1 million make pretty politics. Ness ye sakene dia and obi kantro. Ness obetra vetting committee on with me and substantiate. Yan consider ne say on integrity. Yan consider ne say on your honest person. Yan consider ne say I'll follow within the category of the resetting of this country. That person should be dropped.
Okay. All right. My brother Nadia should not mean one. So Nadia, my brother should not mean
Mini Amdasi. In the Mekandem Beko Fantinti. Beko Fantilai. Vima Meda Ban Fantilai and Mokonde. But as mini, I mean, sure, mini speaker. It's here for Nyami Church will be a na taking it from baby and in my brother. Neda, even though ato forcing doctor oka data onyawo IMF and still they came back to refute that thing there, that data they gave, because he went back to the ministry to get a data as well. You understand? And Dr. Gideon Baku still came back to say he's challenging that one as well. And I think, like you're saying, Dr. Atoforsi Nya BB from the IMF to battle it. So, Ojin Hund Film Kakra. But let's come back to appointment. And I think there's still more to be done. Like you said, there's a window. We'll be there. I mean, from some few days to come, the president has to do. But I think health and agri should have been part of this one. For me, I mean, I've heard people agitating several times. For the current ones, away in three hour ban. Or I mean, if you don't have time to reset the country, just do things quickly. I know there were some lobbying idea or but President Mama should quicken up and add this one, agri and health. Very key.
It's just exactly 1 week he was sworn into office.
Yes, right? but he doesn't have time.
He's made some appointments.
How many? 3. So far, substantive.
For the presidential ones, they come one.
Oh, those ones are just they don't have locus like this one. These ones are
Chief of Staff doesn't have.
But Chief of Staff, you have to. Because the first things you have to do.
I'm saying that a lot of the things happening now, he is the one overseeing it.
Yes, fine. I'm saying that they are very important. Those things are key things you have to do. When President Akufo-Addo came, he did the same thing. Make a fancy. Profundosa. Make a fancy. President Akufo-Addo by them. I remember in 2016 he did that Wonifie Nima when he mentioned announcing them quickly. That was the first thing he did, announcing the people. So on the fine, but the main substantive ministries, and I thought the health and agri should have been part of it. On the phone yesterday, Dr. Cassil, Neda or clarify there, it's not Cassil, but it's Cassil. Dr. Cassil at 247. Or yeah, then Neda. Okay, how to expand the tax revenue compliance. No nanka there. Onankasa bako GRA for he will dedicate his time to do that. Fantastic. But is it the only way we can raise revenue, expand the tax net? No, there are other ways to do that. If you are abolishing e-levy and betting tax, what are some of the things you're bringing? For me, on that aspect, he is in a answer not mine. It wasn't for me. I mean, if you're convincing enough for me, it wasn't enough there. You only rely on compliance. People, how many of us pay tax? About 13% or something or more. More than 30% of us pay tax. So what else are you going to bring on board to ensure that all these huge challenges are all facing, you are able to solve it? I wasn't satisfied with that one. Secondly, we'll be saying on the cocoa pricing. Whether it will be 6,000 now. So because he said it, coming back to what you said, you said when you are in opposition and you are campaigning, it's good to say certain things, but it wasn't definite on it that you pay them 6,000 like he said. And some of these things, they should be careful. There are people.
Yes, but there were explanations to that effect, and the responses were that one in the previous government, the Cocoa Board was moved from the Ministry of Finance, a call back to the Ministry of Agri. Okay, and then in that case, what it means is that the finance minister will not have an oversight responsibility over Cocoa Board.
So you work with.
I'm coming.
Okay.
Then in the response, and it's there has to be a committee. I will put it in place to ensure the price setup for the purchase of the cocoa. Okay. Now, I was doing some calculations vis-a-vis the market price of cocoa as it stands now. and then what the world price is vis-a-vis. Say averagely Ghana ni abankas would no kra the ama Ghana kwiafo cocoa is to be sold around 9,000 Ghana cedis.
Yes.
That is the fact.
I agree.
O share cocoa ne bo ayeto e wo dwaman so a, okay? Now we share the price aban e de ma wo mo na. Wotiti bibi free ma. A bag of cocoa is to be sold at 9,000 Ghana cedis. But currently we are selling it at 3,000 or more, okay? Which is the current, state, which is a very good thing. Now they're promising to move it to 6,000 Ghana cedis, you know. Will have to be a decision at Cocoa Board, and that committee, you know, okay, will take. So, to a far extent, I may want to agree with him because as a finance minister, say, only oversight, direct responsibility over that sector, it will be difficult. He mentioned and said, but I believe that once the committee decides, he has no option than to pay.
Yes, so it's feasible. It's feasible.
It's feasible.
Exactly. From the explanation, it's feasible. So we are looking forward to exactly what he will say.
Okay.
But also, Nida, I think I like Appiah marking to an extent. I think yesterday he was also belaboring the point. He was overdoing certain things. But some of the questions he asked were key, and Atufosen doctor couldn't go straight to answer them. Will you be able to pay for first year's tertiary education like you promised? He said he wasn't in the office yet. But I think does he have to come into office before? No, you say it was a campaign promise.
Exactly.
You understand? So you should give us an answer which is straightforward. He wasn't able to give the answer because if a first year student is going in and knows very well there, whether university, because if you say tertiary, it's not only the university, there are nursing training,
colleges of education,
a lot of them. If you are not able to answer this question straight, and he said until you go into office, this is a campaign promise. It's like, will you be able to remove e-levy? Will you be able to remove betting tax? Yes, I'll do it. But why can't you be sure of paying for the first year tertiary education student to enter like you promised? So that one, so yesterday for me, these are some of the pointers I'll pick. Maybe I'll come back to talk about it when we get to substantive issues as well.
The time now so we the substantives, you know.
The time no control. What about then? Because topic your energy crowd.
Control time.
Privatization idea and ways of
the offer to know about. But there is something happening. Richard from Bola no video next to Subamin. And that report was trying to raise a lot of concerns.
I heard him raise one or two issues on sanitation. I passed it. I saw it. It's an eyesore.
Middle of the Mumbamin setting records in this street.
It's an eyesore.
Mamin setting records in this street.
Okay.
Yeniye was this side of the road. Yenim hono bola biengo. Mamin setting.
Yenim hono.
Yeniye no de yenim habola biengo. Now, across the street, you know.
Opposite.
Echo the other side of the road. This is the Kumasi Accra main road.
Okay.
Across the other side. Ana wuhu de wuhu. Okay.
It's a circle.
Odo rice quine in the dahono baby a motorbike the free band. Now free a year Accra Central ana air bar. That is it. You look at it. Where you Dubai and I say. Maybe an America said trotro for the
this is bad. This is what this is very
and this is how you see this
is it a dumping site already?
This is how indisciplined we are as a people.
Yes.
This is how indisciplined. This is how indisciplined we are.
Wow.
Say yeah.
Wow, this is bad.
You fee correct. From Accra Central no oko circle Dubai yasia. Baby, you one your friend is saying fire service one office. A also now wait, a protocol assembly. Protocol assembly. Or Brasport, baby, will be about a demonstration. I walk on. And then I will say, I know.
Oh, this is bad.
ɛno na wohwɛ saa airtime Richard, for us, this is the now there is something happening in the Ashanti region. Ashanti Regional Secretary of the NDC and the regional chairman. It's a nice one. My team,
just 3 days after they were from Hama, the regional chairman, the 24. They decided to see a baby, never be share, and said they had a chair. For appointed regional minister, I had no offer Babaton. They were from Muhammad, yes, anytime be over a year Ashanti region. I had no offer because no tissue as Mampenino or Bas Antimantem Habiana. Is as well this guy can say, Papa who tells Abontino, now presidential Villa Wahano, and no more headache. Hereby, in fact, a Hussein. Because he be a cost of say over 8 years now. I buy moon penny for whether president, whether regional minister, a moon to a monarch crown fancy had that. And here I say, but be a president's bank or much, but be a regional minister, say, I'm not chairman, will be a buyer, but tonight. And when you are, what's a sad day, Edico. Now, the SIR, where say, I have a presidential seat, I am minister, as also a halo. A woman bomber, I have by a Ghana police and military. If the Ghana police catch as a Panyampa and to be able to air condition can say they are Tunachi, and the Anantia, the Ababachum, they are free her, Oman. Frames are a year burglar proof, names, animal, Yama, the Ashes, windows, and the admin, my building, or to Lina. It will be better we have to Nadia Kaka, and more do radio free a bra state security will be from the Yahu. If yet, a demon have said. Yet, Obi wa you train cow. Hands of one night the man. I want a estate manager or where and 9 or Hanso. And to purchase here, Pianica 8 years and hands of one crown in some woes, and they put to be brave if you demo. And no one say, if I sound so near, they didn't have better than because I will be able to need the issue of this neglect goes beyond their partisan politics. President and regional minister of Ebano. So I say a bicycle no go high with Tomana. I am no if you friend is kana abano was saying here you say as a mate here. Now go ya admo. Regional minister baya as party mpanifo ye ya bra make sure say party no bapa wa yamba say ya go Mahama besako and a party besako hunye mayoku mu no. There were particular interest in making sure say regional minister baya the first thing I want you say Omua ebetina ha na wasan ko mo hwe emeki sure say buildings e wo ha nyina no eye well kept no regional minister the first tax Ghana for ehwe free o make sure say there is accountability so far as this issue are concerned because you know when you dey see before say chairman kan o mo ntro chapa o mo kono mo ko na no mo no mo ba be ka so mo original coordinating council na e basa no me wo mo na e ha basa yi na me say me be say me fu pa regional Kessben no fa so a na woni ba bi da because Uba as regional minister or minor and a bomber, but be a better. Do the end the cake and Huna. And into the embassy of Bocabibri Nintino, now a regional minister residency. A proba 8 years in Nana, once and a half, and the woman for Bibia, furniture, and you be away. If I know what